What's up, squad? What we saying? What we saying? Look what I put on the mic. It's not a pop filter. It's a sock filter, right? So this ties perfectly into the video topic. I couldn't even be bothered to buy an actual pop filter, so I just got a sock and put it on there. This ties perfectly into the video, and for you saying how does it tie into the video? I don't even know what the video title is yet, and I don't even know what I'm gonna say. But trust me, if you clicked on it, you did the right thing, because I'm gonna spit some facts. Now let me get my little sheet here. Let me get my little sheet here. Yeah, I got a sheet. I got a cheat sheet. I got GTA 6 cheat codes. Here we go. ADHD is a lot more than you think it is. It's not only just not being able to focus, getting easily distracted, hyper focus, like these little things that people list, or what's another one? Time management skills being poor, or executive function being bad, and all these other things. That's partially it, but there's more things. Trust me, there's more things. I'm going to get into it because this is probably what you're struggling with as well. The reason why you change the tasks that you want to do. So let's say you had the plan when you get home from work, what you're going to do is you're going to focus on practicing basketball. Not even basketball, because that's too fun. Let's say you're going to practice learning how to program or something, right, like that. So let's say that's the vision you have, and because you've got ADHD, you've got an amazing vision. Like you can just see what works, how the world works and stuff like that. Let's say your vision is I'm gonna code and I'm gonna learn how to code. Now you get home from work and that emotion is gone, and you're like, no, let's not even do that. You're not even thinking rationally, let's not do that. What you're thinking is more like, God, that thing I wanted to do, the weight of that is too much, so I'm just going to distract myself for now. But it's not really a conscious thought, it's kind of like subconscious. I've had that same issue when I've been trying to learn like pixel art and stuff like that, which I'm trying to do now. And I was thinking while I was at work, I was like, hey, when I get home, this is what I'm going to focus on. By the time I got home, I didn't even want to do it. And what I realized was it's basically you visualize the emotions, and when you've stopped imagining that emotion you were feeling in the moment, that feeling to do it is now gone. So one thing that I've realized that super helps with ADHD is what you need to do is you need to imagine the emotions that would make you want to do it. So basically you have to have a positive recall. So people say in like addiction, when people are addicted to certain substances and stuff, they have a positive recall of the substance, and that's why they go back and repeat. So they may have been free from alcohol for a year, but then they will have a positive memory of the taste of the alcohol. They'll have a positive memory of like hanging out with friends, of just the positive feeling they had, but they'll completely forget about all the negative feelings they had, right? And we know addiction and ADHD is definitely related. There's a huge comorbidity rate. And the reason is because your brain works differently. Your neuropsychology is different if you've got ADHD. And what I mean, the parallels between addiction and ADHD is this positive recall thing. You need to have such strong positive recall in the things that when you are alone or when the environment's different, you forget about. Don't know why I spelled the camera. You forget about certain things. Let me see if this is still recording on MacBook. Yes, I have a MacBook. Okay, looks good. So if the ring light is bright, tell me, so I'm gonna change it. Like, you know what? Let me lower the brightness, hold on. Is that even working? But I don't even know how to lower it. All right, hold on. Is that better? Please say that's better. Okay. See, ADHD is in effect, right? Okay, so look at this. Addiction and ADHD is related. Let me move this a little bit up. It's a bit better. ADHD and addiction is related. The way it's related is in exactly what I mentioned, right? So you basically have a negative recall of the things that you need to do to progress in life. So you might have a negative recall of going to the gym, for example. You may have a very strong negative recall because when you have ADHD, you're an emotionally dysregulated person partially, like, right? You may have ADHD and be completely different. One aspect of it is emotional dysregulation. You may want to go to the gym. You may know you have to go to the gym for your health, for your mental state of mind, for your confidence and stuff like that. You know it takes 10 different areas of your life, but you still are going to be avoidant. Why? Because you have a negative recall of going there. So what you have to do is you have to have a positive, you have to basically remember the positive emotions for you to go. Now, a normal self-improvement YouTuber will tell you, just force yourself. Just force yourself. And that's not going to work for you. That's the thing. And I saw this kind of concept on a video on this channel called How to ADHD, I think. It's this lady who talks about like how to manage ADHD and overcome it and stuff. And essentially in one of the videos, she had somebody explain this thing called the wall of awful, I think, the wall of awful. And if you have ADHD, you and a task is divided by this wall, and the wall is huge. And basically what you have to do is you have to do a lot of things to get past it. Now you can just try and barrel through and run through it, but it's going to cost you in the long run. Like you might get burnt out, you might hate yourself, etc., etc. So one thing that you have to do as somebody with ADHD, or somebody who thinks you have ADHD, right? It doesn't even matter if you've been clinically diagnosed. If this helps you, then it clearly helps you. That's the whole point. I don't even really subscribe to the categorizations of all these things. But what you have to do is essentially you have to create the positive recall of the event. So let's say I wanted to go to the gym, but I know that, you know, I have this negative averse reaction to going to it. I think, oh, there's going to be a bunch of people there. I'm going to have to walk all the way there. It's going to be cold, etc. It's summer now, but you know what I mean, right? Your brain just goes off the rails. Just does all this stuff. What you have to do is do a positive recall. So you might have to do the positive recall and say, oh, imagine how good it's going to be to push that barbell, or imagine how good it's going to be to be sweating and running and how good that's going to feel, or imagine how good it's going to feel stretching afterwards, or imagine how good it's going to feel you know, knowing that I've done it. So you have to remember all the positive things, and this works for mundane tasks which people who have ADHD suffer with. So let's say you don't want to cook because it's boring, right? Relatively it is boring. People just do it, but it's boring. One thing you can do is do the positive recall thing again. Oh my God, I'm going to be adding all these spices. I'm going to be eating, you know, something delicious. I'm going to learn a new method of cooking, etc., etc. So what you're doing is you're essentially doing what an addict would do, essentially, but in kind of in reverse. So it's like, instead of doing a positive recall of something that's bad for you, you're having a positive recall of something that's good for you. And then that's how you get back into that emotional frame. I know there's more. Let me see. I'm not just gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna hit you with, bro. I'm gonna just give you knowledge, bro. What are you trying to kick knowledge? Yeah, I'm trying to kick knowledge. Hold on. Exactly. So the reason you rationalize is the reason you rationalize is because the emotional charge is no longer there. So there's an emotional charge. You had it. You felt an emotional charge when you thought of the idea. So when you were angry and you were writing your schedule and you're like, yeah, at 7 a.m. I'm going to do this, at 8 a.m. I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. The reason you don't do it, sorry, the audio cut off. Okay, let me get back on track. When you're writing a list and a schedule and you're saying, this is what I'm going to do, and then you feel the emotion and you're convicted and you're convicted. Your conviction is so strong. I know that's a root word though. Your conviction, just have to check that's still recording on the MacBook. See, my laptop's more reliable than my phone, bro. And my laptop's how old? Look at this, yeah. The reason that you have the conviction is because you have basically this ADHD thing of emotional dysregulation, and your thoughts are not, it's so complicated to explain. The way you view emotions is that they're kind of eternal almost. This is another thing to add to this. You view emotions like they're kind of eternal, like they never really end. So when you feel motivated, you're like, this is gonna last forever. When you feel depressed, you're like, this is gonna last forever. And it might be comorbidity with other things, or it might just genuinely be that's how the ADHD brain works, right? So anyways, my point is, when you're thinking that you're going to do it and you're imagining how all the amazing things you're going to do, let's say my god, I'm trying to imagine the situations for you as well. Let's say you want to learn to play chess, and let's say you just watched a chess video from like Gotham Chess. I watch Gotham Chess sometimes, right? Let's say you watch one of his videos and you're like, oh my god, that tactic was so good, I'm going to learn how to do this. And then you say, okay, after I get home, I'm going to study I'm going to study that. And you genuinely imagine that's what you're going to do, and you're going to do it well. You get home and then you don't do it. The reason you don't do it isn't because you're actually a lazy person. It's because you don't have that same emotional frame that you had then, and it no longer exists. So what you have to do is get yourself back into that emotional frame. So what you have to do, maybe watch that same video again, maybe think about those positive feelings you're feeling, like, oh, it's gonna feel so good playing against an opponent and they don't know this tactic. Oh, it's gonna feel so good when I learn this and I actually win a game, etc., etc. Not saying you don't win. I'm bad at chess as well, but my point is, you have to have a positive recall. Have a positive recall of the things that are beneficial for you. You need to have a positive recall for the things that are beneficial. So you might have a positive recall for, like, let's say instead of chess, let me give more examples. I'm just going to keep giving you examples until something resonates. Let's say you're like my example and you want to learn a skill, like I'm trying to learn pixel art now. I'm imagining making a game. I'm imagining making my masterpiece game, but I know that to get there, I'm gonna have to learn how to make assets, animation. I'm gonna have to learn different shadings. I'm gonna have to learn sprite sheets. I'm gonna have to learn programs. There's a lot of things to learn, but I'm so motivated by the image of creating a game, creating a masterpiece, that I can't start the small task. That's the thing. So what you have to do is, and this I'm kind of helping myself now, kind of, what you have to do is realize that you have to, I don't want to say find joy in the small thing, but if you don't have a skill, to learn the skill has to be the fun part. So I have to, like, let's say I'm copying a sprite from somewhere else. I have to genuinely find joy in doing that and knowing that that's the first step to creating more sprites. That's the first step. And I have to genuinely enjoy that first step. And I have to imagine it in my mind as a joyous activity. So like I'm imagining right now, I'm doing a positive recall of when I draw that sprite, how good it's going to feel when I can actually create a sprite by myself. And I could then do a sprite and a little animation, and I could post that on like Tumblr or like TikTok or something like that, right? I know you're probably shocked that I said Tumblr, but you know, yes, my mind is in 2012. And Tumblr has great pixel art accounts, that's why I said that. Well done, something's in my eye. Man, this ring light, I'm not used to. I was saying I'm not used to a ring light and then it cut off. My phone is so bad. The storage sucks. I should have got a 256 gigabyte storage, but anyways, I hope I deleted some stuff. I hope there's free space now. I'm gonna wrap this up though. Essentially, have the positive recall of the task you need to do. Have a positive recall of the task you need to do in order to grow. So I have to have a positive recall of when I draw a pixel art animation, when I draw a pixel art character, I have to have a positive recall about doing that. Right now, I'm having a positive imagination of creating a whole game. But you know how stupid that is? Because like if I had all the skills, yeah, that would work. But I need to get the skills first. So that's how it, like you may have a positive imagination or image of creating a website, like just programming your website from scratch, or what else do people program? Like let's say you create a great piece of code for programming, like a routine thing on your phone. You may have that image, but you don't know how to even write a line of code. Well, that's where you have to begin, and you have to create things and have that creation process in the most minute things, and then you're going to enjoy that. And you have to work hard in that category. This is the biggest thing I've realized with ADHD, is that you have such big dreams but such small this is the thing with ADHD. You have a huge dream. You imagine what you're going to do, it's going to change the world, but you don't see the details. That's the problem. Or maybe you see the details and the details are too challenging, or you think they're too challenging, because let's be honest, yeah, you're an intelligent person. The details are not that challenging. You know, if you know, the human mind can do so many things. You know, it's not that difficult. The thing is, we make it difficult. Learn the steps, do the courses, and figure out, this is what I need to do, and break it down into the most minutiae of things, and find joy in the minutiae of things instead of the massive goal, because the massive goal is at the end. But you don't have the skills to do that yet. So I need to find joy in, when I'm making my pixel art, I have to, like, I've got a channel I'm gonna link as well. I posted 8-bit music as well. But what you have to do is focus on, hey, I'm gonna focus on creating a character today. Just, that's it. Just creating a character. I'm gonna draw one person's character, another person's character, another person's character, and eventually I'm gonna make my own one. Well, if I did that and I made my own character, that would feel amazing. I haven't achieved the mega goal yet, but if I work like that every day, then next day it's like, I'm gonna make a house. Next day it's like, oh, I'm gonna make an animation. Before you know, I'd have all the skills, and then I'd go ahead and do what I want to do anyways. So that's basically it. I think the video title is gonna be something like ADHD, ADHD hack or something. I don't know. But anyways, hope that helped. Next time you check in, there's gonna be more going on here, right? It's not just gonna be the void. So yeah, take care.